works, I keep the flame. Heard you barking up, it's the wrong tree, I got the strings. Yeah, I'm charging up, they can't keep up, got them, now they walking up. Trying to put the face in the name. I pull up and I'm swerving. If a try to holler, she gon' curve him. We came from under buzz like a Persian. We been staying in our lane, ain't no merging. Rapping like I'm turban. Yeah, these all square like Irvin. Yeah, we grew up in the hood, no Suburbans. If I say I need my money, then it's urgent. Yeah, they want me to quit. Yeah, they want me to shift. But as long as I'm alive, we gon' keep on making hits. While they steady shooting bricks, man, it's lit. Yeah, it's lit. Me and Dale back to back, and yeah, I'm dishing the assist. Yeah, they talk a lot of but we really with the lame, man. Always gonna be reaching for they hit, smoking like a clip. They can never catch me slipping. Every time your girl around, she be watch the way I'm dripping. Try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that be poking out them jeans. I've been sparking up like the fireworks. I keep the flame. Heard you barking up, it's the wrong tree. I got the strings, yeah, I'm charging up. They can't keep up, got them looking drained. Now they walking up, trying to put the face to the name. I'm in flex mode with the best though. That's a chess move. I'm your favorite G, I think it's best, yo. Stop with all the grilling, I'm on jet fuel. Taking off, clear the runway, now they cannot clip my wings. Yeah, they soft, they ain't homie, they ain't even on the scene. Play it smart, they don't know me, they just know what they see. What it costs to get flea, but this style ain't free. Just that swag, just that splash, one wrong move, that's do the dash, keep a stash, just in case they tryna flash. Never lie, we don't slack, tell her eyes running back. I don't brag, I'm relaxed, I'm not into all of that, yeah. It's really just the fam and my dogs, I just gotta make a call. I ain't into all that chatting, not at all. Yeah, I put that on the squad, we been out here going hard. We on deck, please don't make them. But try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up, got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that be poking out them jeans. I've been sparking up like the fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you barking up, it's the wrong tree, I got the strings. Yeah, I'm charging up, they can't keep up, got them looking drained. Now they walking up, trying to put the face to the name.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it.
It is Thursday, May 6, 2021. Good morning to everyone across all the platforms tuning in. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all the above. Shout out to everyone in the chat rooms, everyone who's supporting us. Good morning. James Bubba Williams and Rebecca Azor is in the house. Good morning, everybody.
Rebecca Azor is definitely in the house. And I know that you guys have missed me in the mornings, but here I am. It feels so good to be with you guys and say,
y'all missed it. Who missed her?
Right, child. We ain't missed you, child.
I know the audience is right in the chat room. Everybody's cheering.
Ben wanted to make sure I came on time because he wanted to make sure. He's like, "Yo, Rebecca, what time you coming in today?" I said I was coming on time. I'm coming on time.
That's not what I said. I said what time you pull it up. So
that's
same
what he
difference.
said.
Same difference.
Yeah, same difference, sir.
See, it's like it's a choice of words. I know if I say pulling up, it's not as aggressive as saying, "Hey, what time you gonna be on time today?" No, see.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but I did say that I took these mornings off so that I could be here. I am happy to be here. So, what's up? It's Thursday. It's Friday, Junior. Okay, so how's the energy? How's the energy?
The energy is great. Actually, I didn't realize it, but the producers just put in our notes this morning that yesterday was our 50th episode of Like It or Not.
Woo, it's our anniversary.
We out here grinding.
Anniversary.
Days. Yep.
Yes, 50 already, 50 episodes. Oh my God.
That's
and I only been to about 3 of them.
Right. And look, we already
you've been to way more than 3 of them, but you've been on time to about 3 of them.
Yeah, probably maybe about 2.5.
Hey, and we already got a super chat. OG says, "I miss Becca."
Oh, I missed you too.
Oh, let's go ahead and
OG.
restart this stream. Let me restart the stream without Rebecca.
Thank you guys. Look, see, you guys are my joy this morning. The audience is definitely my joy, and I'm happy to have my two fellas near me, Ben and Bubba, wearing their gray on today. Ben had originally, because all the businesses out. Ben originally had on his salmon suit
Salmon.
or a suit top, and so
you fine with saying salmon because I that's
salmon.
one word
Who
I
is
cannot
out here
get the
saying
L
the
in
L in the
salmon.
salmon?
I cannot get the L in salmon. I cannot. I think it's
Salmon.
silent.
How you say it?
Sam. I'm saying Sam
Salmon.
like as in Sam. Salmon.
But when you say
Salmon.
Sam, you almost hear the L in it like that. When you have a country
Salmon.
accent, you say
Salmon.
salmon.
Yeah, but it was
There's an
clashing
L
with your
in there.
red. It was clashing with your red. I was like, nah, I gotta change it. Put on something that blends in a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Also,
pretty
so there's a
pink.
50th. It was Pepto-Bismol is what they call it. Also, so in addition to our 50th episode yesterday, tomorrow night we will be having a patron party, and we expect all the new patrons, all of you, and all the current patrons. Obviously, we have quite a few who show up every single time we do a patron party. It's a Zoom party where DJ Exclusive spins through the night, and
DJ Exclusive.
I do my best. DJ Exclusive is DJ Bubba Williams. Just in case anybody's
It's
don't
Bubba.
know.
It's James.
It's Bubba.
Right.
He'll be there
Everybody.
spinning.
My 4-5
names.
I do my honest best to stay as long as I possibly can, but somewhere right about midnight, late in the midnight hour, I probably will be. I'll probably be dozing off a little bit, but the party honestly goes on sometimes to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Without you, right?
2 o'clock.
Because I
we went on to
literally
like
get
2
off of
o'clock
work.
last time.
And I be trying, y'all. I'm gonna try to make it on Friday for about an hour with y'all.
Right,
But the
Rebecca, I'll be
sleep
playing
that kills
music
me
for you and
after I log
everything.
off the job.
Rebecca ain't gonna make
Right.
it.
She ain't
I'm
gonna
Well,
make
actually,
tired,
no.
y'all.
Let's do this. Let's say Rebecca's gonna make it, so everybody else can come. 'Cause if Rebecca pull up, everybody gonna pull up. So
Right,
Rebecca, you need to
will
be there
be at the
tomorrow.
party. Yes,
What time
Rebecca.
it start? What
and I
time it start?
need
8
all the
o'clock?
patrons there.
Yeah.
It start at 8?
No. We're gonna probably start around 9. What say you, James? 9:30?
9:30.
So I'll let you guys know.
The
It's
party
not a
jump off at 9:30.
promise. It's not a promise because I do have rehearsals. So just to make sure if I don't have
Rehearsal?
rehearsals. Yes.
You going out and you ain't vaccinated yet?
I told you I have rehearsal. That's how I make my extra money to pay my But yeah.
You tell all them people to put on masks around you singing and spraying with
No, we're
their
gonna be
vocals.
separated. We're gonna be separated from people.
And just they get it. They really get into it. Those droplets go everywhere. They hit a good run. Ooh.
Bruh, I hate being dude. I hate being with a passion.
I'm currently on quarantine, by the way. I'm on quarantine because some backwoods Bama conservative potentially exposed me to it. So I'm just looking out for my sister. That's all. I just want to make sure that she don't.
Yeah, I know. And he's
That's
gonna.
all.
I'm gonna be fine. I promise I'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of COVID, I want to jump right in here. A team of experts from the CDC has concluded that by the end of July, COVID-19's toll on the U.S. will fall sharply. However, they are also warning that there may be a substantial increase in hospitalizations and deaths if those who selfishly chose not to get vaccinated do not follow basic COVID precautions like wearing a mask indoors and social distancing. That being said, under the most optimistic scenarios, by this recent CDC report, by the end of July, new weekly totals could drop below 50,000 hospitalizations to fewer than 1,000, and then deaths between 200 and 300. Now, for comparison, we are currently averaging about 350,000 new cases each week, 35,000 hospitalizations, and over 4,000 deaths. So if people abide by the rules, we can save a lot of lives and avoid quite a few hospitalizations and even more infections. At present, almost 146 million people have received at least one dose of the vaccine, with 41% of adults nationwide being fully vaccinated. At a press conference on Wednesday, where President Biden gave updates on the pandemic and the national vaccination campaign, Biden made a plea to vaccine skeptics watching. Let's take a look at it.
I've been saying this a long time, but I really believe this is not a Democrat or a Republican issue. Science behind the vaccines has been under development for decades. 2 of our vaccines were authorized under prior administrations, Republican administrations. My administration, the Democratic administration, is doing the work to get hundreds of millions of shots in arms. While we may not always agree on everything, this is one thing people across the political spectrum can agree on. So I want to thank prominent conservatives like Mitch McConnell and a large group of Republican members of Congress who've medical training, who have advanced getting vaccinated. I also want to thank the 105 million Americans of every background who are fully protected from one of the deadliest pandemics in our history. You know, there's a lot of misinformation out there, but there's one fact I want every American to know. People who are not fully vaccinated can still die every day from COVID-19. Look at the folks in your community who've gotten vaccinated and are getting back to living their lives, their full lives. Look at the grandparents united with their grandchildren, friends getting together again. This is your choice. It's life and death. And I hope everyone knows within themselves it makes the choice that it's going to help them and their loved ones be safe, get our businesses open again, and get us back to normal.
Now, we've been talking extensively about the vaccine apartheid and the fight to get the patent waived so that nations in the global south can develop generic versions of the vaccine so that they can prevent mass death in their nations. But soon after the press conference, Biden's trade representative to the World Trade Organization announced a major shift in prior U.S. policy, at least by the sound of it. U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai announced on Wednesday that the U.S. will, quote, actively participate in text-based negotiations at the World Trade Organization in order to draft a new waiver that could allow countries all over the world to produce their own generic versions of pre-existing COVID vaccines. As a result, shares of Pfizer, BioNTech, Novavax, and Moderna shares plunged on Wall Street. In other words, the news that the United States was going to share or waive the patent control over the vaccines actually was a negative thing for the businesses, while it is an immensely positive thing for the people across the world, which shows you, Rebecca and James, that there is a disconnect between what's in the best interest of these corporations that are developing and now profiting off of the vaccine and what's in the best interest of the people. So by Joe Biden and his administration now coming full circle, which is actually a good turn. We played the clip yesterday of Anthony Fauci discussing why he opposed waiving the patent, because he didn't feel like the world should get tied, the nations of the world rather should get tied up in the legal fights over the patents. And we should just find some other way to make sure those nations get what they need. And it was generally the feeling that the Biden administration was not going to support waiving the patents. Well, now it sounds like they will. And the devil's in the details. We don't know exactly to what extent they're going to waive it. Is it going to be along the lines of what South Africa was asking for, the group of people who gathered, the nations that gathered and originally suggested that they should waive these vaccines? I don't know the details, but the willingness, just the willingness alone for the Biden administration to waive these patents so that India, South Africa, other nations can get access to the vaccine for cheaper, that sent these companies' stocks plunging. And quite frankly, good, because they shouldn't be profiting. They already showed Pfizer has made around $3.5 billion off the vaccine already. Isn't that enough? Apparently not. What you think, Rebecca?
It's crazy how they plummeted. But it does show signs of, what can happen when that conversation is started, when they're like, okay, there's money to be made, but the money is so much more important than people, because that was bigger news. So money is so much more important than people. But when I look at and I hear what's going on in other countries around the world, it's crazy how, India right now is going through what they're going through. And it would be great for us to assist them and help them. But it's just like, it's all at the same time. It's like, what would be the cost to get assistance from America? Like, what's the trade-off once we give them assistance? And what's the trade-off? Is it like, I don't know. I just worry about everything that's going on right there. But I do want for those people to get the assistance they need in other countries that need the assistance as well. It's interesting though. An article came out yesterday, or not yesterday. It could have been yesterday actually. An article came out not too long ago about Haiti being one of the countries with the least deaths when it comes to COVID. They got to do what they got to do. It's very interesting though. It's just very interesting in the country that does the most. We're here. That does the most. Can't never get it right? Just got all access to stuff. We the ones that just can't get it right. And other countries are doing what they can, doing holistic things or whatever to try to figure out life. And they have to be out. They are very essential, right? But then you got all these, you got America who just can't get it right. People dying left to right. And with India, I really feel bad because it's almost like they don't, in particular places, because I can't say it's all of it, but in those particular places, they don't have control of this damn virus and it's just killing folks off. And if we can assist as best as we can, let's do that. Just like when we first had our pandemic growing in numbers and we just didn't understand how to stop it. Other countries was like, hey, here you go for the free. Yeah. No charges. Hey, you want to know what we did? You want to know what things that we put in, like what medicine that we had? And Trump was like, nah, we don't need all that. We're going to create our own. All of that. It's just we roll different. We built different. It's terrible.
What's bad is they're saying that Joe Biden said he won't want to wait till Americans have their vaccines and get everything done, but we see everything slowing down and we wasting all these doses. Let's go ahead and send all of this stuff over to India, man. It makes no sense that they have to struggle the way they're struggling right now.
It's really bad. To see it is worse. It's like to see
worse.
It and watching them with those rusty oxygen.
It's a mess.
Yes. They're trying their best to get what they can. And it's just literally just for that's it. Nothing else more. Nothing that's constant. Like we've seen people get their oxygen machines or whatever. And they, it's for that person. This is just everybody get a hit. And then, and that's enough for them. These people literally cannot breathe. And
James, you just reminded me of the fact that Walgreens has wasted more vaccines than some states, right? And that's just that's life. Those are lives. And we have a combination of stupidity in this country and hoarding. And we have so many people who are trying to ensure that we don't get fully vaccinated. The same people who were talking last year about, we need herd immunity. Their recommendation for herd immunity was everybody to just go out and whoever gets it and survives, whoever dies. That's their sociopathic definition of herd immunity. That was Fox News. That was Donald Trump. That was all the Republicans, conservatives. And now they're convincing people to not get the vaccine, which is going to prevent us from getting to herd immunity. And so in the midst of the stupidity, the combination of the stupidity and the hoarding, there are millions of vaccines that are going to waste because we're not sharing them with the world and because of the level of stupidity that's in this country, because so many people are not trying to get this vaccine because of the level of stupidity that comes from Fox News. And we have a lot to cover. Tunde, if I want to go to C1, because I think this is the best example, right, of how Fox News, how their influence 100% impacts what's happening right now with COVID-19. And their chief propagandist, Tucker Carlson, how he absolutely has had a significant impact on the number of people who don't believe the vaccine is the way to go or think people shouldn't wear masks. In the month of April, Tucker Carlson's primetime Fox News show was the most watched cable news show, averaging 3 million viewers each night. Overall, Fox News attracted a much larger audience of 2.2 million viewers than MSNBC, which only averaged about 1.6 million viewers, and CNN with only 1 million viewers. So in other words, the message that is an anti-vaccination message and an anti-mask wearing message is going out to millions more people through Fox News than even MSNBC or CNN. Now, all three of these major networks have seen huge drops in their audience sizes since Trump was president. CNN's ratings dropped 47% as compared to last year, while Fox News is down by 39% and MSNBC is down by 22%. But Tucker's wide reach and influential platform have sped out into the real world with grave consequences. Here's a Tucker Carlson clip from last week, where he declared wearing a mask to be, quote, child abuse. Take a look.
Masks prevent intimacy and human contact. If I can't see your face, I can't know you. Masks are for the guilty. They're signifiers of shame and submission. Until recently, many jurisdictions had laws against wearing masks in public. Only Klansmen and armed robbers wore masks. The rest of us showed our face. We were free people. But then we gave in to the demands of people like Eric Garcetti, and because we did give in, this grotesque version of Halloween went on for more than a year, and it's still going on. Not even Tony Fauci still pretends that masks are medically necessary. Instead, masks are purely a sign of political obedience, like Kim Il-sung pins in Pyongyang. We wear them because we have to. The only people who wear masks voluntarily outside are zealots and neurotics. How neurotic are they? Well, we know. A Pew survey from last March found that 64% of white Americans who classify themselves as liberal or very liberal have been diagnosed with an actual mental health condition. And you see them everywhere when you walk down the street in any major city. If you dare to go on foot from Union Station to the Capitol, for example, in Washington without wearing a mask, angry Biden voters will snort at you in judgment. How could you? They're saying from behind the gauze. How could you? That's the question we should be asking of them in return. The rest of us should be snorting at them first. They're the aggressors. It's our job to brush them back and restore the society we were born in. So the next time you see someone in a mask on the sidewalk or on the bike path, do not hesitate. Ask politely but firmly, would you please take off your mask? Science shows there is no reason for you to be wearing it. Your mask is making me uncomfortable. We should do that, and we should keep doing it until wearing a mask outside is roughly as socially accepted as lighting a Marlboro in an elevator. It's repulsive. Don't do it around other people. That's the message we should send because it's true. As for forcing children to wear masks outside, that should be illegal. Your response when you see children wearing masks as they play should be no different from your response to seeing someone beat a kid in Walmart. Call the police immediately. Contact Child Protective Services. Keep calling until someone arrives. What you're looking at is abuse. It's child abuse, and you are morally obligated to attempt to prevent it. If it's your own children being abused, then other. Masks prevent intimacy and human.
Now, listen. This is what is being heard by the most viewers across any news platform every single night. And if you want to see the real impact of it, on Tuesday during a school board meeting in Florida, a woman loudly interrupted the meeting by shouting about how masks are, you guessed it, child abuse. Same as the language that Tucker Carlson used in the video that we just watched. Let's take a look at this mad woman.
We don't need to. The science said we don't need to. We're going to go out the door right here to the right. We do not need masks for our kids. It's child abuse. Do not. You're being escorted. Take the masks off our kids. Thank you for your feedback. I apologize. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Hey, look, we had some excitement, but we'll keep moving on.
And it gets even worse. Elsewhere on Fox News, Brian Kilmeade couldn't quite help but to condescend to a sixth grader who asked a question about school reopenings in the wake of COVID-19. Let's take a look.
How close are you to getting back in the room? What do you miss most about not being in school?
I miss most, obviously, seeing my friends and all the after-school activities that I've done. And I think that we're very, very close getting back to school. And I think that the way that our new president is handling things is a very good way, and we would not have gone to this if it were still the last president.
Really? That's hard to believe because the last president was saying, I want every kid back in school. So, Lily, for you, what is your hope knowing the numbers are going down and the governor might be opening up?
Wait, bruh.
Bring everybody back on the screen. This man really got in his feelings over a sixth grader.
Rebecca's face say it all. Rebecca's face
with
says
a kid
it all.
though, like
with a kid
child. who had his little feelings, and his feelings are his feelings, and you're gonna try to attack the little kid like he's an analyst on this show as a regular. He's a 6th grader, and he just told you how he felt. He believes in what the new president, Joe Biden, is doing as far as for the people, and you shut him down because you didn't like his response, old man. Like, those people have no heart. They will chew anybody in their way alive and spit them out. And then he tried to go to the next little girl to see if her comment or whatever she was going to say was going to match up with Fox News's rhetoric. But you see, God don't like ugly. He thought
they dangerous, man. That channel.
Why would you ask him that? And he give you his honest answer. Like, that was from his little 6th grade heart. And that was his honesty. And that was his truth. Why would you do that?
Because he couldn't possibly, Brian Kilmeade. That is absolutely right. Kilmeade could not allow a positive statement or even a tangentially positive statement about Joe Biden to go across the screen because, that's the agenda of Fox News. They are they got the most viewers, and that's how people are dying, man. They don't want you to wear a mask, but they don't want you to really get the vaccine, because they're downplaying it, even though every single one of them are fully vaccinated. Tucker Carlson is fully vaccinated, and he's not going to be in public with. Listen, if he is the person that we know him to be, this man probably won't even stand on an elevator with somebody, even if they're wearing a mask, because he's afraid of getting COVID-19. But every single night, what does he do? What does Fox News do every single day? They make sure that they undermine mask wearing, and they undermine the confidence in the confidence in the vaccine. And here they are, the biggest platform. So if we're not coming out, if this ain't over by 2022, Fox News has a direct impact on that.
Tunde is speaking as the voice of God from
Slack.
From Slack. He said. Well, he said, he's like, to be fair, he was talking to somebody he felt that was on his level.
Talking about Kilmeade.
that was a good one too, Nate.
Now, that was good, but you're disrespecting the kid. The kid's looking like, listen, clearly, he could never be on my level. Clearly. But that's funny.
These are the people in charge, in charge of the country. These are the people who want to run the country, man. This country ain't gonna last, man. It cannot possibly last with that level of stupidity. Pettiness, conspiracy theory, and just childishness every day.
Just straight disrespect. It's almost like, why do you guys have the kids on, first of all, to appeal to who? What are we doing?
They want to reopen. I'm sorry, that pissed me off, because they had those kids on there to try to sway public opinion that we should forcibly reopen all these public schools, which is going to get more people killed. But these some sociopaths, bro. We dealing with folks who are killers.
To me, they had the kids on there to sell that idea that, even kids don't want to wear masks. Even kids, don't want to be they want to be back at school with their friends, and they want to go back to the rhetoric that they pushed that may have had mad millions of views from Tucker Carlson, and that was that it is child abuse.
Did you just say Tuckums?
But that could have been because of my braces. But
no, that's what Joy-Ann Reid called him and read him for filth.
That's funny. I never got to watch it, but I believe that she did read him for filth.
Yeah.
But it's just like Fox News. No matter how much we cry about it, well, not cry, but no matter how much we read in their rights, no matter how much of platforms like with Joy-Ann Reid, and even here on our show, we can continuously talk about them, and I'm glad that we do, because people do hear us and people do hear Joy-Ann Reid. But it's never going to be enough for the cult. It's never going to be enough for the cult. They're always going to be surviving like roaches, surviving earthquakes and God rebuilding the world, or the Big Bang Theory, or whatever. Coming on the boat
bomb with survival.
Like, why did Noah pick the roach and the spiders and stuff to come on the damn boat? We didn't want those animals. Like, what the hell? But they're almost
That's
like
Fox
that.
News.
They're inevitable. But when we see them, what we're going to do is what we do always. Kill them, smash them, spray them down.
Exactly.
We're gonna make sure that we can. But the things they don't go away.
Listen, the issue is that they have the most money to be heard by the most people. Comparatively speaking, Ben Shapiro at one time was spending $100,000 a month advertising on Facebook to get his message out there, which is about the same, almost identical to that of Tucker Carlson, right? And so they have the money, they have the resources, and they have the influence to create more cockroaches, like you said, Rebecca. Like it's a never-ending process of having to chase down their lies and chase down their conspiracy theories, and we're doing so with like one hand tied behind the back. And MSNBC, like, you know, okay, but y'all are not fighting. Like the best segment we got was Joyanne Reed's rebuttal to Tucker Carlson, and it's like if these platforms and CNN, they MSNBC and CNN do not fight at the level that Fox News fights. And you can't be in this fight with your hand behind your back. And Tucker Carlson and Fox News, they're playing for keeps. Like they're trying to end the game. They're trying to end all of this. They're like, they would rather see America burn than to ever allow it to become under the control of Black people or brown people or marginalized communities. So if y'all are not fighting at that level, then how do you ever expect to actually push back against the stuff that Fox News is doing? It just blows my mind. I don't know.
And y'all did notice that all those kids were white, right?
Oh yeah, you know.
And that was okay because they could have. Go ahead.
And they about to say in the way they flipped it back on his ass. The other little girl agreeing with the dude, like, yep, that's right.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, he's right. Yeah,
F-45.
Oh man, I can't believe that dude. That grown ass man had to try to
fight the little boy. Imagine if he was in the little studio. He probably would have got off and rammed that little boy right out the seat, talking about he slipped. Oh, he was so mad.
Oh man.
I know you guys can imagine him Kilmeade just turning around and saying what that little boy said and literally running him down. Like,
oh man, you know what? I can't close this segment out. David, do me a favor. Grab the video that's going around of Tucker Carlson getting roasted by Jon Stewart. Because it's at the level. We'll do it after the break, but it's the level. This is the level of fight that we have to have against these people. And we don't see it but every blue moon. We don't see it like Joyanne Reed did her clip yesterday, and that was cool. And Jon Stewart, but this is back in 2004 he did this. And these people have been able to use their money to grow their platforms to the point where they're speaking to more people than any of us combined. You can damn near combine MSNBC and CNN. They're not talking to as many people as Tucker Carlson is talking to every single night. And just for one more little bit of context, personal context, I said this yesterday, I'm gonna say it again. Every single thing that man who was in the emergency room with me, who was not wearing a mask, everything that he said was literally the same talking points as Tucker Carlson. Just like that wild woman that was in the clip that we just watched, who came out saying that it was child abuse. These people, Tucker Carlson, Fox News, they have too much power and too much influence for there not to be a counterbalance. There has to be other voices that can reach that level. And without it, man, I think we're lost. But anyway, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to play this clip of Tucker Carlson getting roasted by Jon Stewart, and then we have a whole lot more stories to cover. More Like It or Not after this.
Good morning again, everyone. It is your boy, your DJ James, my boy. It's better known as DJ Exclusive, y'all. Hope y'all are enjoying the show thus far. Make sure that you stay tuned. Can't let the start of the show go by without saying good morning, Mom and Daddy, and good morning, Sensation. And before we get into some of this good music, we're going to read off our new patrons, y'all. It's a lot of them, so stay tuned and stay with me here, okay? Make sure that you hit that like button, hit the like button, and also make sure that you share with at least 10 of your closest friends. All right, y'all, here we go. New patrons for today. We have High Anxiety Dragon Girl, Colina H, Jessica G, William M, who increased their pledge. We have S. Gaynor, LOEG, Simone S, Kayla J, Michael H, MJA. Oh right, party with me. Hey, come party with me. Claudia M, Lisa B, Mark S, shout out to y'all. Lizette C, Kathleen C, Jerry G, Rebecca F. I think this is the second or third Rebecca that we've had in the past few days. Carolina, Jennifer G, Neon S, Mia T, Annie G, Clarence H. Man, this music, I like this. Oya A, Jeanette B, Chris U, CBM, and Cameron M increased their pledge. Cameron M, thank you so much. And our new Twitch subscribers, we have Tron22 who subscribed with Prime. Thank you so much for all our new patrons, y'all. We appreciate your support. And you too can become a patron as well too. Go to patreon.com/likeItOrNot, patreon.com/likeItOrNot, and also make sure that you join, y'all. Also follow us on social media, Like It or Not. What is it? Like It or Not Show on Instagram and Facebook. Like It or Not Show on Instagram and Facebook, y'all. Let's see if we can get a song in real quick before we come back. Here we go. Hey. Shout out to everybody that's watching us on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're streaming from, YouTube, y'all. We love you and thank you so much. Make sure that you stay tuned, y'all. We got more Like It or Not coming up. Chuck Diesel, shout out to you, Chuck Diesel, Lisa, Nat A, Nat M, everybody that's in the building this morning. Purple Rain Hearts, yes I do, is one of my favorite ones. Josie 100, good morning, good morning. Tiger, good morning, son. Daniel, good morning, Daniel. Laura, good morning, good morning. Avery, good morning. Savage Sweetheart, good morning. Fairy Girl, good morning to you. It Get a 9, brother, good morning. Lou Kane wins. Good morning, good morning. Shout out Infinite Content. Mark S, good morning. Nick, good morning. Paige, good morning. It's Truth the Dragon. Good morning. Gwen, where you going? Good morning, Lisa. Y'all, welcome back to the screen. Rebecca and Ben.
Hey. Somebody said in the chat room that feels like family cookout vibes, that song.
Right. Don't let your ex be at the cookout. I'm going to be doing my steps real hard. I'm going to miss you, but I'll be gone.
Be showing out.
To the listening audience, you absolutely are going to have to go and watch that timestamp. I don't know what timestamp it is. Hey, go, what is that timestamp? Because good God Almighty, you got to come see Rebecca.
You know when you do the electric slide and you hit. But
somebody in the comment section, tell me what that timestamp is, because I want to specifically tell the podcast audience to go and see it. Oh man,
it's like doing the wobble. You add the extra little step in and a wobble.
Exactly. I'm gonna miss you, but I'll be gone.
But
that's when you throw it back real hard too. You be like, bye.
I'm trying my best to pull up to some cookouts this summer, but we're not going to be able to do it if these stupid people who got the biggest voices and the biggest platforms keep doing what they doing. Now, that said, if any of you are tired of Tucker Carlson, who is the most popular and the most watched viewer Fox News show in this country, you're going to enjoy
find
this
out
clip.
A scandal, actually, Ben. All they got to do is find the scandal, okay?
But they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Like, listen,
it has
they
to
got
be something. And I feel like Tucker Carlson, cannot be as
something, y'all.
There is something under that boot of his. And we know like Fox is probably protecting it, but once it gets into the right hands, somebody that worked at Fox and Tucker disrespected you, talk about it.
Yes.
I know you got
talk about
it because that man needs to be gone.
So let's talk about
because it's it's hard for these people to keep their noses clean. Come on, it's out there. There's probably something out there, but
keep their noses clean. That right there itself tells us a lot.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
That tells us a lot.
I wonder how much how white his nose gets.
Shouts out to Dr. Carl Hart because I don't think they're doing it responsibly. I don't think they're using responsibly.
Rebecca, go home. Wait, you're already home. Never mind.
It's too early. I'm on time. I'm on time today.
Oh, man. Yeah, to Infinite Content in the chat room, we said we need Ken Klippenstein to look into it. I think I might text my dude and be like, hey, do a freedom, dude, get somebody to leak to you about Fox News and Tucker Carlson. That said, if you need some catharsis, buckle up because Jon Stewart is all of us with regard to Tucker Carlson. Let's take a look at it.
I think you're a good comedian. I think your lectures are boring. Let me ask you a question on the news.
No, this is theater. I mean, it's obvious. How old are you?
35.
And you wear a bow tie.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So this is...
No, I know.
So
you're right. No, let me just go. No, come on.
And listen, I'm not suggesting that you're not a smart guy because those are not easy to tie. But the thing is that you're doing theater when you should be doing debate, which would be great.
No, it's
not honest. What you do is not honest. What you do is partisan hackery. And I'll tell you why I know it.
You have John Kerry on your show, and you sniff his throne, and you're accusing us of partisan hackery?
Absolutely.
You've got to be kidding, man.
You're on CNN. The show that leads into me is puppets making crank phone calls. What is wrong with you?
Well, I'm just saying, there's no reason for you, when you have this marvelous opportunity not to be the guy's butt boy, to go ahead and be his butt boy.
Yes,
it's embarrassing.
I was absolutely his butt boy. I was so far. You would not believe what he ate 2 weeks ago. You know, the interesting thing that I have is you have a responsibility to the public discourse. And you fail miserably.
School, I think.
You need to go to one. The thing that I want to say is, when you have people on for just knee-jerk, reactionary talk...
Wait, I thought you were going to be funny. Come on, be funny.
No, I'm not going to be your monkey. Go ahead. I watch your show every day, and it kills me.
I can tell you love it.
It's so painful to watch. You know, because we need what you do. This is such a great opportunity you have here to actually get politicians off of their marketing and strategy. Yeah, it's someone who watches your show and cannot take it anymore. I just can't.
What's it like to have dinner with you? It must be excruciating. Do you like lecture people like this? Or do you come over to their house and sit and lecture them and, they're not doing the right thing, that they're missing their opportunities, evading their responsibilities?
If I think they are.
Look, I wouldn't want to eat with you, man. That's horrible.
I know, and you won't. But the thing I want to get to...
We did promise naked pictures of the Supreme
Court. Yeah, we did. No. Let's get to those.
Why can't we just talk? Please, I beg of you guys.
I think you watch too much Crossfire. We're going to take a quick break.
No. Look,
hold on.
Please.
We've got commercials.
Please.
Next,
please stop.
In the rapid fire.
Please
Hopefully
stop.
He'll be here. We hope. We think. And then, did U.S. soldiers refuse an order in Iraq?
Tucker Carlson said you need to teach a journalism school, and Jon Stewart said you need to go to journalism school. That was a wrap.
Whose show was it though? Whose show was it?
It was Tucker Carlson's show back in 2004 on CNN, and it got canceled because it wasn't working for him. It wasn't a good show.
It was on CNN.
It was on CNN. He got to start.
CNN had this man on the show.
Well, that's
this man with a show on CNN.
Well, he wasn't the full-blown, full-throated white supremacist that he is now, and he wasn't successful until he started being a white supremacist.
He still had that flip I was discussing a few days ago in the back, and it was strong right there. And now he got to cut down. And that's the one I kept saying. Do you guys don't see that flip in the back? It gives racism, but to see Tucker in that way, but he would. Now, what I can say about Tucker, and I ain't trying to say that, but that man was not about to let his stuff. He's like, listen, we gonna go toe for toe. You are not about to keep reading me. But is that the man? And I keep always forgetting because it's been so long. Is that the man, Jon Stewart, that dated the woman?
No, you're thinking about Bill Maher.
Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for separating that from me. Because I wanted to know if I do like Jon Stewart, because or not. Like I wanted to make sure that
we don't.
Yeah.
You have to make sure before you actually like the segment whether or not you like the part. That makes sense. I get it.
Yeah, most definitely. Look,
he had the show.
Tucker as he just screams white supremacist frat boy.
Oh my God! He screams. I fell. We possibly killed someone on a roof from being drunk, and my university covered it up. You will never know. We possibly raped somebody, and my university covered it up. You will never know. So he gives those vibes. Yes. And I hate to say that, but it does look like he gives those vibes. Yeah,
don't hate to say that because that's probably the closest thing to reality. You guarantee he comes from that. No. I ain't no guarantee. It's absolutely the truth. He comes from that echelon of society where their daddies get them out of trouble for doing stuff that most of us will spend the rest of our lives in jail for. So don't apologize for that. That's exactly where he comes from. And it took him a try at CNN. It didn't work out there. He tried MSNBC. It didn't work out there. And then he finally found his calling, which was to spew white supremacist conspiracy theories every single night on Fox News. And anyway, that's I just needed to watch that clip again. I watched it like 3 times yesterday, so y'all forgive me. I had to get that in there one more time. Anyway,
it's funny because Jon Stewart and Tucker Carlson. It's like Jon Stewart, and I remember Jon Stewart, but I stopped watching him for years now. That's why I got him mixed up with Bill Maher. So, but I stopped watching him, and I know that Jon Stewart has a little bit of, he's what Cuomo on CNN wants to be. They think that I got a little black in me kind of thing. So when I see him, but the thing is the way that he was coming at Tucker, y'all can't lie. Tucker was standing his ground in what he was saying, even though it was stupid. It was stupid. It was dumb. It was empty. And it was childish what they were doing, both of them. But Jon Stewart was definitely reading him on his own show, and Tucker's
like, I thought you were going to be funny.
He does what he always does. He does what the other hosts on Fox News do, and that is definitely deflect, get very defensive, get very emotional, and they never give an opportunity to really share what their feelings are. They go into defense mode. They go into battle mode, and it's never clear and concise. It's like at the end of the day, your opinion, maybe your opinion, your commentary, maybe your commentary, but help us understand why it's important to us. Instead of when it's only you on the show and you have your full monologues, when somebody else comes on the show, prepare yourself to say how you feel, whether or not the person agrees with it or not. I didn't get a sense of what he was trying to convey, except for let me fight you back. The same thing that they always do.
Well, he had nothing.
News. He had nothing, but that's the thing. They never have anything because they are so focused on themselves. They're so focused on how they feel individually. And not to say that we have to agree with the other side. We never do, but they will literally pull on kids, put on kids to think that kids are going to be on their team and try to fight the kids verbally when the kids don't agree, because they're used to just having folks on who agree with them or they're doing their monologues and saying all their BS.
They can't handle any pushback.
They can't handle real people on the show or people with actual feelings or opinions that are other than theirs and who have backup for what they're saying. That's it.
James, do me a favor. Read that super chat from Infinite Content.
You gonna do it?
It's got to be read on air. It's got to.
Infinite Content says, by the way, have you all discussed old struggle edges? Candace Owens getting the gig at the Daily Wire yet?
Y'all leave. It's Candace Owens. I'm sorry.
It's completely out of nowhere, but it's cloud. It's roasted with no context. But
is her edges the struggle, or is the ends of her hair the struggle? It's like, cut it out, girl. Let it grow. But she needs that white supremacy to be right there. Like me, I'm growing it out, so my ends are struggling, but I cut them off every time I get a wash. I cut them off because I'm like, I need to get that white supremacy up out of me. That perm, I need to get it out. Now let me stop playing. If y'all want to perm it, it's your hair. Perm it. Weave it. It doesn't matter. Do what you want. But Candace Owens, she
edges. Wow.
I can't say she's short. I haven't seen the edges. I haven't seen a pullback pony yet. Okay. I can't say, because my edges are shaped like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. So I can't say too much on that.
Rebecca.
I can't say too much on that.
That's why she ain't want to talk about that, girls.
I can't say too much on that.
You said like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z.
Because I got a widow's peak that just comes up in here and it makes the rest of my edges look like it's crazy.
She had to delineate. She delineated between them edges and them ends. Like she said,
I need to hold on tight to what I got. I can't be talking about too much now.
We got it, Dave. We're good. So I want to shift gears a couple more stories real quick before we go to the after party. Joe Biden, I've criticized Joe Biden a whole lot, and it's funny because I've taken a lot of heat because we opposed Donald Trump in the election, right? And a lot of people are, you oppose Donald Trump and you love Joe Biden. No, Donald Trump was obviously the destruction of this country, and we had to get rid of him. That said, there's a lot of questions as to whether or not we can actually push Joe Biden on his issues. At Biden's press conference on Wednesday, he also pushed for his $1.8 trillion American Families Plan. This proposal includes money that would allow Americans to attend community college without paying any tuition whatsoever, and also includes some modest tax increases on the wealthy. But I want us to take a look at this clip of how he made the case, because it is a really compelling message. Let's take a look.
If you notice, corporations aren't investing any money in research and development. Somewhere, what's most of it going to? Buying back their own stock dividends, which makes sense, leaving by some studies less than 10% for research, development, pay raises, etc. Used to be that not too long ago, for example, during the Bush administration, the tax rate for the very wealthy, making well over millions of dollars, was 39.6%. It's now 37%. Just raised it back to what it was before. It raises enough money from that savings to put every single person in community college who wants to go. Now, what's going to grow America more? What's going to help you and your security more? The super wealthy having to pay 3.9% less tax, or have an entire generation of Americans having associate degrees. That's why all the economists, even on Wall Street, are pointing out, guess what? It grows the economy, benefits everybody, hurts nobody. But now it's talk to the Wall Street Journal, let's talk about it as a welfare program. It's about growth. And so, the idea that it's just amazing. I mean, corporate taxes, they were 36%. Our administration, last administration, said we should lower it. We suggested it be lowered to 28%. Well, it's got lowered to 20% or 21%. Show me something that's benefited. What's happened? Show me where the growth is.
Now, notwithstanding the problem that he had with the math there, the message is clear that it is more important that we in the United States tax the wealthy in exchange for people being able to go to college for free. Now, he's only talking about community college right now, and we got to push him even more because community college is great. It's a great first step, but higher education at public schools should absolutely be free. And he's headed in that direction. But I love the fact that he put it side by side. What's going to help you more? Is it for millionaires to be able to keep this 3 whatever percentage he was working out there to keep that? Or for an entire generation of people to be able to get access to college education for free? Now, we mentioned this point, another point briefly on yesterday's show, but I also want to note that Joe Biden's administration, after receiving immense pushback and criticism that he broke a campaign promise, raised the refugee cap from 15,000, which is a historic low set by the Trump administration. He raised it to 62,500. Now, had President Biden lifted this emission cap for the Trump administration's restrictions sooner, there would be more asylum seekers who would have been able to get to the United States. That said, it is a move in the right direction. So the question that's on the table right now, Rebecca and James, if you look at not only he listened to the people in terms of immigration, in terms of asylum seekers, he's listening and he's pushing in terms of college education being free and taxing millionaires and billionaires. And we also already covered the fact that his administration is looking at waiving the patent to get the COVID vaccine to the global South. All those things said, I mean, these are good moves in the right direction. It's not set in stone. The devil's in the details. We got to see how it plays out and if he actually follows through. But it looks as though he is actually listening to the people who are pushing him. And that's a good sign. What do you think?
Who was he talking to when he said, close the economy? Who? Who's going to hear that? Who? Was the people in the back? Was the people on the side? Because it was only for people in the front row. Okay? Because he said, close the economy.
That math, he was doing. He was like 3.2, not 3 point. What?
He was struggling with the math. and then, but who was going to hear about closing the economy? Who was he talking to? What message was he trying to send there? Because I need you to be strong with that one. Close the economy. Because who was exactly? What you said, Bob? I couldn't hear it.
It took
the economy.
I couldn't hear. What that mean? I like what? Like help us understand. But no,
3, 5.
It took everything. It took every bit of everything.
I'm gonna need him to be a little louder and strong and a little bit more secure when he says close the economy.
With some
you know who you're benefiting when you say that because.
Man.
Because I need you to stand strongly. I need you to put a little preacher's voice in that. Close the economy. You know, I need it to be like that.
Who was that? Wait. What clip was that last week? Oh, the cop. The cop who was in his car. The cop who was in his car with all that dramatic. I'm so tired.
I needed to be strong like that because who was gonna go with close? That's when you're saying something before the preacher's about to say something on the climax. That's that little thing, you know. But then you gotta close the economy was supposed to be on the climax. That's where we was.
He gotta talk about. Hey, somebody said use the Kirk Franklin voice, and they're talking about the voice from him cussing.
For those of you who want to understand where you're gonna get the money, we need to do what? Close the economy.
Tiger in the chat talking about old man ASMR.
I saw that. Oh man.
Who heard that? I need you to be a little stronger, President Joe Biden. But thank you. Thank you.
Man, it is a move in the right direction. I love the fact that we could give somebody props and have no respect for them whatsoever. Anyway, one more story. Y'all making it difficult to do these stories.
Let me read this story.
Yes, do that because I can't. I'm beside myself here. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Okay. On Wednesday, in a decision that could have major consequences for families nationwide, U.S. federal judge Dabney L. Frederick, a Trump appointee, overturned a nationwide CDC moratorium on evictions. Although local evictions moratoriums exist, these are largely a patchwork while the CDC's covers the entire country. Judge Frederick, I hope that's because that spelling is very interesting. Judge Frederick issued a ruling which agreed with the argument that the CDC overstepped its authority by extending the eviction moratorium, which was first included in the March CARES Act passed by Congress, to all residential properties nationwide. Biden's Department of Justice will appeal this decision. Trump's federal judge appointments may be the longest lasting and most malign part of his legacy as 45th president. These judges hold immense power with little chance of removing them. They will likely be in positions of authority until we're all very old and very gray. It's a long time. Meanwhile, Mitch McConnell has promised 100% obstruction on any and all of Joe Biden's legislative initiatives. Let's take a look.
Earlier today, there's been reports that Liz Cheney is kind of on the outs in the House. Are you going to do anything to help her keep her leadership position? And are you concerned at the overall kind of trend in the Republican Party that acknowledging that the election is valid can threaten, I guess, your position of power?
Yeah, 100% of my focus is on stopping this new administration I think the best way to look at what this new administration is, the president may have won the nomination, but Bernie Sanders won the argument about what the new administration should be like. We're confronted with severe challenges from a new administration and a narrow majority of Democrats in the House and a 50-50 Senate to turn America into a socialist country, and that's 100% of my focus.
But isn't it a concern that a sizable chunk of the Republican base doesn't believe that this election was valid?
100% of my focus is on standing up to this administration. What we have in the United States Senate is total unity from Susan Collins to Ted Cruz in opposition to what the new Biden administration is trying to do to this country.
Does this remind you of anything? Here's Mitch McConnell back in 2009 promising to do everything in his power to stop the newly minted Obama administration.
Over the past week, some have said it was indelicate of me to suggest that our top political priority over the next 2 years should be to deny President Obama a second term. But the fact is, if our primary legislative goals are to repeal and replace the health spending bill, to end the bailouts, cut spending, and shrink the size and scope of government, the only way to do all of those things is to put someone in the White House who won't veto any of these things.
They never like nobody. Responding to his comments, White House press secretary had this to say.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said this morning, when asked about kind of the issues within his own party, that, quote, 100% of my focus is on stopping this new administration. And he touted kind of the unity within his caucus from Susan Collins to Ted Cruz. Are you concerned that it will be difficult to work with Republicans when you have these kind of statements coming from their leader?
Well, I guess the contrast for people to consider is 100% of our focus is on delivering relief to the American people, on getting the pandemic under control and putting people back to work. And we welcome support, engagement, and work with the Republicans on that. And the president has extended an open arm to that. The door to the Oval Office is open. He's invited Senator Capito to bring a group of her choosing to the White House next week. And we think there is opportunity for agreement to deliver on relief to the American people.
So what are Republicans' guiding principles? Even Joe Biden, who often touted his friendships and strong relations with Republicans over the years, has no idea. Here's what he had to say about what he thinks guides the Republican Party at yesterday's press conference.
President Biden, you said earlier you don't understand Republicans. What does it say about them if they oust Liz Cheney from leadership for telling the truth about the election?
Look, it seems as though the Republican Party is trying to identify what it stands for. And they're in the midst of a significant sort of mini revolution going on in the Republican Party. I've been a Democrat for a long time. We've gone through periods where we've had internal fights and disagreements. I don't ever remember any like this. And so, as one of you said, and I'm not embarrassed by identifying them, as one of you said on national television last night, we badly need a Republican Party. We need a two-party system. It's not healthy to have a one-party system. And I think the Republicans are further away from trying to figure out who they are and what they stand for than I thought they would be at this point.
So I want to say this. There are a few things from all the videos that we played that raise questions and awareness. But with Mitch McConnell, see, he has this thing with the presidents that he doesn't like, and when he wants to speak up, he's such a hypocrite. But when he gets on and he says things like, you know, it was Bernie Sanders who did X, Y, and Z, and I'm trying to turn this thing into a socialist. And Ben, as someone who considers himself a socialist, how did you feel about Mitch McConnell saying that he wanted to step into that socialist train and get everybody to be on that? How did you feel about that? Because it's very interesting.
He was, so Mitch McConnell, and that's the reason those clips tell a very definitive story of the impact of these elections, right? Because the first thing that you talked about, Rebecca, was about how it was an appointee. It was a Trump appointee who is now overturning the CDC's ban on evictions during this pandemic, right? And so that's a real material, tangible. You asked me about my socialism. Like, this is a real material detriment to the American people. There are so many people who don't have the money to pay their rent right now, and they have been protected by the CDC's moratorium on evictions. And now with a Donald Trump appointee overturning that, there are going to be people out on the streets in the middle of a pandemic having to go and live in homeless shelters, which is going to start spread the pandemic even more. And then you talked about Mitch McConnell, those two clips from Mitch McConnell. In the midst of a pandemic, his only goal is to stop Joe Biden, which was his same goal in 2009 to stop Barack Obama. You know what I mean? And so what he was saying in context of like Joe Biden may have won, but Bernie Sanders won the conversation. Well, that's because it's just human decency. Socialism ain't some big scary thing. It's basically saying people have basic needs and we make enough money in this country, all of us together, to make sure that people's basic needs are met. So, I mean, Mitch McConnell, like, you know, and it's just their priorities are to hurt us. And I can't make that any clearer. Those clips that you played can't make it any clearer. Donald Trump got elected, and because Donald Trump got elected, he appointed this judge who has now made a decision that's going to cause thousands of people, probably into the hundreds of thousands, because so many people are out of work right now. It's going to cause them to be put on the street. That's a real consequence. And I'm not a Joe Biden supporter, but damn it, if that 2016 election where Donald Trump got into power did not have very direct detrimental effects on people's lives right now. And then for Joe Biden, my number one criticism of Joe Biden is this. He thought that he could negotiate with these people. He thought that he could get bipartisanship with these people. And so to hear him at the very end of that last clip, he said Republicans are a lot further off than I thought that they would be at this point. Yeah. Thank you, Joe. But I need you to remember that.
Yeah, I need him to remember that, but, you know, say it a little louder as well. But it was for him saying that we, you know, when he says things, and I just feel like, you know, if we needed the Republicans to be what they are, we needed them to be strong. If we needed them, then we would not be fighting for people to be Democrats. Don't waste my damn time. Like we wouldn't be fighting for people to be something else, right? If we needed this. And yes, we always have to have different people in the conversation. It can't be just a two-party system then if we're going to talk about having opposition or having people who disagree or having different point of views. We need all kinds of different folks. Well, Democrats there are some Democrats who don't even stand and don't even go with Democratic ways. They're very conservative with their views, or they're very free, more free than a Democrat would like to be, you know, So when we bring that conversation, now it becomes broader. You're saying a two-party system, and you're saying that they've started a revolution. Now you're actually giving them, they're looking like, and they're hearing, he recognizes that we have gotten stronger. He recognizes that we are not to be messed with, and we can start a revolution. They do like that type of rhetoric. So as the president, like, I need you to really be speaking on the party that you represent. And say, you know what, the Republicans have, like you said, that particular statement where he basically said something against the Republicans, but I need more of that. Like, we don't need the view of we are the world. We don't need that. We don't need that between Republicans and Democrats right now, because Republicans have done so much wrong. Why should we stand with the wrong and ignore the right? Shouts out to Adele. Why will we do that? We can't settle for that. We have to keep fighting for what is right, because the people who represent the Republican Party, the majority, are people who don't want to see Black folks win. Say that when we call out policing, we're not being patriotic. When we're calling out any injustice, when we're calling out pay gaps and all these things, they believe isn't right. So, transgenders, they believe that they shouldn't get any health care. Like, let's really talk about what's really happening. So if we're saying that they're starting a revolution, we're telling them that they're gearing up, they're powering up, they're, getting all their one-ups, like to definitely build to become something bigger and stronger than the force that is fighting them to win for justice. So let's fix these conversations between our leaders. They kind of start understanding, like, your words matter in this particular time. Your platform matters big time. This is not just you appearing at a press conference and going back to the White House. Like, this is like people are watching you. Whatever you say will go viral. It will play 1,000,000 times if it has to. We will dissect it piece by piece with the tone of voice, with your body stature, with anything. Like when we saw with Mitch McConnell, we knew we can call bullshit right there because it wasn't real. Like he's just saying the same thing that he always says when it's somebody in power that he doesn't like, and that's it. So
then the other side of that is though. Thank you for putting it in that context, Rebecca, because Joe Biden, while he says he sees that they're far off, and that's actually progress for him, he doesn't see that he has to fight back at the same level that they're fighting him. And I think that's what I'm hearing you say underneath that is that he's giving them credit for a revolution where Joe Biden, where's your revolution to fight back against them? Because they, when Mitch McConnell said our goal over the next 4 years was to stop Barack Obama, like they really did stop Obama after Obamacare. Like they crushed all of his appointees. That's why Donald Trump has been able to get, I think he's appointed 1/3 of the federal judiciary. Like that's unheard of, but that's because Mitch McConnell stopped Barack Obama. They didn't stop him from becoming a 2-term president, but they stopped him from getting Merrick Garland on the bench. They do all these radical and revolutionary from their perspective things. And it's not enough for Joe Biden to just say, they're far off. That's a first step, but you're right. He's got to absolutely change his language as well as his intensity of the fight. The question I want to know is he going to go after the filibuster? Is he going to end since he knows who they are now, is he going to go after the filibuster to protect voting rights across this country? Because Republicans are attacking that as well. So no, you're absolutely right. Actually, we got this clip, and this is I jumped in there because I want to play this. This is from Florida, all of our stomping ground. This just happened on Fox and Friends. Governor DeSantis just signed into law a voter suppression bill. And you got to remember, Florida went to Donald Trump. Elections have consequences. Andrew Gillum was the Democratic nominee. He lost that race to Ron DeSantis. And now they are making sure that Black folks can't get out and vote at the level that we have been voting in the last few elections. But he did it. It all comes together. He did it on Fox News just a few minutes ago. We got the clip. Let's take a look at it.
You're doing the same thing. What's going to be different about Florida's election in 2022? What are you about to sign?
So right now I have what we think is the strongest election integrity measures in the country. I'm actually going to sign it right here. It's going to take effect. So there you go. Bill is signed. And here's what it does.
It's over there in Palm Beach. I'm from Palm Beach County.
Right.
It always has to be somewhere where I'm from, where the BS is happening. It was a Cuban back there. I will vote for Donald Trump. It's ridiculous. They are all, it's just like that. And that Cuban person was their diversity in the room. So, I really, when I see stuff like that and the fact that, you see what I'm saying? That's what
they play. That's how they play. Exactly.
Let me tell you something. DeSantis said, you know what? I be going viral a lot. I don't need to just do a press conference like that. I'm pulling up on Fox. Let's make it big. Let's do a party around this signature, around this legislature. Let's make sure we let these people know that we coming with fire. So he gets on there. He makes it such a big thing. Got his clan behind him. And then while that's happening, what's happening in the background, Ben? Because while that's happening, while Ron DeSantis is being real loud, you can't hear what Joe Biden's saying. The economy. When then Ron DeSantis is like, I am about to make all y'all Black folks not vote. Your vote can't count. Right. Thank you.
When they screaming right there, woo! Yeah! Oh my God!
And it suppressing.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. They will make sure, they see how strong we can get. And you never really see Ron DeSantis do anything like that, but he said, I'm pulling up on Fox. Let's make it a party. Let's make sure we let people know what's good. That's what I'm saying. Come with that same fervor, Joe Biden. I know you can see he's old right now. You can see that he just pull up to the White House, have a press conference right there, have Jill on the side, drinking her little tea, you know what I'm saying? Like, and make it something. Let the people hear what you really have to say. When it has to be about the Black issues, don't pull Kamala into the mix. We haven't seen her in a minute. And then when you pull her into the mix, she's talking about America ain't racist. We don't need that. We don't need that. Like, come with the same fervor.
Hustling backwards.
Hustling. God, dog, that's a good one, Jay. That's the hustling backwards ass.
Hustling
anyway,
backwards.
So we're going to give you a little piece of this story, this next story, because we were going to do it in the post game, but it really ties right into Governor DeSantis. And then we'll jump over to the after party. You can get access to the after party by becoming a Patreon, patreon.com/like it or not. Arizona is holding tight to their election fraud claims. There's a video of Dennis Welch, who's an official who is helping oversee the audit. And I want you to listen to how far these people are willing to go in order to find some way to overturn the election that we just got out of, that elected Joe Biden as president of the United States. They are not done with this yet. Let's take a look at this clip.
The other day at the press conference, you were talking about bamboo. What was that about?
Well, is that there's accusations that 40,000 ballots were flown in.
To Arizona?
Into Arizona, and it was stuffed into the box, okay? And it came from the southeast part of the world, Asia, okay? And what they're doing is to find out if there's bamboo in the paper. That camera right there, that they take a picture of the ballot, they can really look at depth and find out, is it a hand-marked paper ballot? Because it's a 5K camera. You can see the folds in the ballot because 92% of all the ballots here should have been folded because they came in through an envelope. Okay, and so they're doing all sorts of testing to prove if it was or wasn't, and that's very important because the only way you can persuade people on changing is having facts, and we're on a mission for facts. And I'm Audit Elections USA, and what we do is not about the right or left. Audit is an acronym. It stands for Americans United for Democracy, Integrity, and Transparency in Elections. We've been around 17 years. We work all over the country for the last 5 years. I'm in litigation in Florida. I've sued in Alabama, I negotiated in Virginia, I sued in Ohio, and I've been in 18 states just working elections. And I all started because of the Bernie Sanders election in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. I'm the guy who sued the whole state.
Now, he said a whole lot there, right? But he slid in there something so ridiculous that the reporter had to circle back. He slid in there about asking, like, what does bamboo have to do with this allegation that there were ballots that were flown over from Southeast Asia? If you don't see it yet, you'll see it here. Let's play this clip.
So what does the bamboo, why do you check for bamboo?
Because they use bamboo in their paper processing.
Who's they?
People in Southeast Asia.
So that you feel like
that's what they say.
40,000 ballots have been.
Yeah, I don't believe any of that. Okay. I'm just saying that is part of the mystery that we want to ungaslight people about, and this is a way to do it.
This is part of what you're looking at.
I'm not. They are.
Wow.
I'm here as an observer and a professional in elections for the last 17 years.
I don't know, my guy. Y'all, they're looking for bamboo in the paper because it came from Southeast Asia. And
so what they say.
What they say, the bamboo in the paper, and that's how they're going to prove whether or not there were ballots flown in from. This is still going on right now. Yeah, what month is this? I'm lost. We're in May. The election.
May. Damn.
The election was over in November. The president was inaugurated, and he won definitively. Donald Trump is still saying that he won, and this is why. The clip we just watched of Governor DeSantis, this is why they're going over and above to suppress our votes. Because if they can't steal this last election, then they say, well, what we got to do is just stop black folks from voting. And underneath all of that is just the casual racism of saying, oh, hey, if we find bamboo in the paper, that means
it's
they were flown in from Asia.
It was from China.
It's Asian paper.
China.
But they don't realize that China. China.
Exactly. It was definitely flown in from China, and that's why it tells us that there was some voter issues there. And we're our audit stands for Americans United.
Let me make a correction real quick. It isn't. I said in the as I was describing it, I called him Dennis Welch, but it's actually John Brakey. Sorry about that. The video came from Dennis Welch, but the guy who was talking, and I don't care how nice your acronym is, Americans United.
Is that really what audit stands for, or he just was doing that? No, he's clever.
That's just something clever to make his name sound. Yeah.
Americans United in defense and tranquility. Yeah. I made that up, but I feel like that's what he said.
He had an E in there somewhere, so it's audit T.
Oh,
he had an E in there at the end of that. It's like, what the hell?
Lord.
It was ridiculous.
All I know is that they are going to levels that they would overturn this election if they found a little splinter of bamboo. They would try to go through
from China. It has Russia. It has Russian connections. There is no way you can't tell me that this didn't come from
China,
Guantanamo Bay. Like, this is something that is located straight in Africa, and then
the Martians flew these in.
And in the Caribbean, they want people are asking for reparations and things. And then you're right. It's aliens. Then we just seen the last footage coming around. So
aliens united,
extraterrestrial. It's extraterrestrial things happening. So
that's information technology.
It's so much going on.
Dropping off ballots.
Ooh, and then those black people.
Oh man!
Back to the black folks and the Black Lives Matter movement.
Y'all, we're laughing because you got to laugh for not crying, and because it's so stupid. It's a level of stupidity we can't help but laugh. But Governor, based on that type of thinking, in Arizona, Governor DeSantis just signed into law a voter suppression bill that he put a nice spin on it, just like the guy, John Brakey did. Like, it's for integrity. And then Governor DeSantis said, oh, it's for integrity. Meanwhile, it's suppressing black people and brown people's votes all across the country. And and then he did it on Fox News to boot.
Oh, it's a party. It's a party. Okay. That's what he wanted it to be. He wanted it to come in and make sure he made a statement. He wanted to, and he is taking advantage of the platform.
Yeah.
Fox News is ratings is shooting up, whether it's people who like the network or don't like or hate it. They're going to watch, whether it's through Twitter, whether it's people reposting. He's going to make sure he knows that he will go viral for this moment, and then it's going to reach those Republicans who don't even watch TV. It's going to reach the masses. They know that this is the effect of
But here's the other thing. Here's the other side of it. The news media was barred from going into the signing of that law. So while Governor DeSantis was signing that law, he wouldn't let any other news media in there because he wanted to give Fox News an exclusive.
The exclusive.
We're outgunned, and we're not outgunned in terms of ideas and being correct and having the backbone to fight. We're outgunned because we don't have the money and the resources, and we don't have the platforms. And I'm sorry, MSNBC is just not doing it. They're not getting it done. CNN sure as hell isn't getting it done. Fox News is running up the damn scoreboard on us, and it has real implications. People
it used to
dying.
be a joke, and now it really used to be a joke. Like at one point, it was just very Republican, very conservative, very whatever. Then they started doing whatever, and they used to be like, "Oh, Fox News is just a joke," and whatever. We used to literally ride them in. Now they have literally built power after
serious power.
Donald Trump's, ended his presidency. Come on, y'all. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense.
It literally does not make sense. But that said, one of the things that we're doing here, we're getting ready to go to the after party. We gave you guys the public show extra 30 minutes here. And we're going to the after party. It's for patrons and Twitch subscribers, patreon.com/like it or not. We're going to keep the show going. That said, what has to be built? Real story, real talk. We have to have platforms that can compete with Fox News. Even if it's not with Fox News in totality, we have to start getting numbers along the lines of Tucker Carlson. We have to, because they're talking to too many people for our message. And when I say our, I'm talking about like progressives in general, like people who generally just care for humanity. I don't care how you identify. I don't care if you call yourself a liberal, a progressive, a socialist, a communist. I don't care. There are those of us who are fighting on behalf of humanity. And y'all, we ain't get no numbers. I absolutely love TYT. I'll be on there tomorrow. I love Roland Martin. His show, I'll be on there again Tuesday. But combined, you can combine all of independent media, and we're nowhere even near touching what Fox News is doing. And we got to innovate, and we have to start fighting back, which means we need your support. We need you to go become patrons. And even if it's not of this show, which I expect fully that the people who are hearing this message, you become a patron of our show, but support somebody's independent media, because mainstream media ain't doing it. Do y'all honestly think MSNBC is going to be able to fight back against Fox News? They're not. They haven't. They don't want to. They're incapable of doing it. We need you to become a patron of this show in particular, because we're going to continue to grow this platform. We are going to continue to speak truth to power. We're going to be the premier morning show. The vision that I had for this show, it is still coming to pass. I know we've had some setbacks, and we need your support now more than ever. But if you watch this episode and you see every single thing that we've been talking about, we've laughed about it, but y'all, this is a full-on battle.
Yes.
This is a full-on war. And the people who are speaking the most truth to power, like us, we got to get these numbers up, and we can't do it without you. Patreon.com/like it or not. We need you today. And then in the meantime, you get to come to the after party. Oh, and in the meantime, you get to come to the patron party tomorrow night. I want a full house tomorrow night. I want at least 100 patrons, at least 100 patrons to show up tomorrow night, because we already have 140 patrons for the morning show. So shout out to everybody who became a patron.
And let the numbers just rise. Let it rise. You know, we're looking for, our goal is to get to 500. So definitely right now, yes, if you guys are right, like a phoenix from the ashes, baby. If you're watching right now, please, right now, go to patreon.com/like it or not and become a Patreon. Get your friend, your best friend, I told you, your food bae, your side bae, whoever, to just have a $5 a month, whatever you want to do, it's fine. But just become a Patreon, because you love, not only because you love our content, because you support it. And you want us to definitely be at the forefront of the conversations instead of the rhetoric that you're getting from Fox News, which is divisive, which is misinformation, and very destructive. So definitely just help us continue the conversation and the movement and to speak truth to power. That's right here. I'm like it or not.
And one last thing, James, before you take us to the after party, thanks for the reminder in the chat room. They said, don't forget about Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, which, okay, listen, we know Jeff Bezos is the devil, right? But a lot of y'all still have Amazon Prime. Totally get it. Use that over on twitch.tv. Go to twitch.tv/Benjamin P. Dixon, and you can get access to all of the stuff that we're talking about, the patron parties, the after party, all of that. And it doesn't cost you a dime. It doesn't cost you a dime. It takes $5 away from Jeff Bezos, and it sends it to us. So even if you don't want to spend money out of your pocket and you have Amazon Prime, it costs you nothing to go over there and support this show. That said, DJ Bubba Williams, DJ Exclusive, take us to the after party.
Hi guys, love you, mean it.
We will see y'all tomorrow, y'all. We thank y'all so much for tuning in today. We thank y'all so much, y'all. Make sure that you go join us, patreon.com/like it or not, patreon.com/like it or not, y'all. Make sure that you follow us on social media, Like It or Not Show on Instagram and Facebook, Like It or Not Show on Instagram and Facebook. We'll see y'all in the morning. After party, here we come. Let's go.
When I get you back, oh yeah, I promise you'll never leave me. When it comes to you and me, there's no one else I'd rather be with. Baby, I won't let you down. I got it, I know you need it. Love is it when you're around. Oh, please say that you believe it, 'cause I don't wanna lose you. I hope you feel that way too. 'cause I don't wanna lose you. I hope you feel that way too. No, I don't wanna lose you. Baby, don't go. Oh, when I get you back, oh yeah, I promise you'll never leave me. When it comes to you and me, there's no one else I'd rather be. When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah.
Boy, you had me from the start. By the way you stared, the way you wrote upon me, yeah, yeah. Man, I felt your energy. Wasn't used to being loved and treated differently, yeah. But something went wrong, the signals got crossed, and now we're on completely different pages. Let's go where we were, where no one gets hurt. Baby, keep it right there, don't you stress the flow. You're trying to pick the pace up, we should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Will you take me on a trip? Always up and down and back and forth in merry-go-round. I just wanna get it right. But when you go left, I'm stuck here feeling left behind. 'Cause something went wrong, the signals got crossed, and now we're going different directions. Let's go where we were, when no one gets hurt. Baby, keep it right there, don't you stress the flow. Trying to pick the pace up, we should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. If you love me just like you say you do, if you kill him, you're gonna kill us too. Baby, keep it right there, don't you stress the flow. You're trying to pick the pace up, we should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you switch it.
Just another sunny day in Southern California. It's where the people came to play. Don't let them transform you. Come and see what you've been missing on a little slice of heaven. It's the
Oh, got me on screen drinking. Right at the wrong. Oh well. This episode of Like It or Not is brought to you in part by nobody but you, our patrons.
Exactly. Nobody but you, our patrons.
Nobody but you, our patrons.
Tune in and view every Monday through Friday, 8:30 to the 10:30 hour. And our very, very You guys are just, I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in every day. And you guys are always growing too. So that tells us that we're doing something right.
Yeah. No, people are really becoming patrons in large numbers. And that's love. Listen, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, it took me 3 years to get to like 150 patrons. And so we're coming near 150 patrons. So thank you to every single one of you. And the fact that we have 100 of you watching right now. That's love. That's love. So let's start this after party. Hang on, let me see what the okay, so this video is entitled "You Never Know Who Speaks Your Language." Carlo Marley, is that how you put Marlies on TikTok, shared this video. And well, that's all I have to introduce it. You never know who talks your language. So let's take a look.
So the other day, this lady came in. She was Salvadoreña, I could tell by the flag on her phone case. We do a transaction, I give her a new phone, and everything is seemingly going well. So I thought. She ends up complaining that I didn't give her all the details, which I in fact had, and says that she wasn't made aware of the things that I made her aware of. Isn't that crazy how that works? And I'm like, ma'am, you're a stranger. I'm not gonna argue with you. Either you can return the phone or you can keep it. So she calls up her friend and complains to her friend in Espanol. And she's like, don't worry, I'm not talking about you. And I reply saying, no me importa porque yo entiendo todo lo que está diciendo. She was shocked, baffled. Muy bien.
Muy bien. You know where he got that from, right? And it's that show with the Hispanic person on there with the hair that goes up. And I'm trying to remember, was it from Powerpuff? I don't know. It's the Spanish little person that's always randomly laughing and I'm trying to remember the show it came from. Damn it.
Damn it. I'm too captured by how many people in the chat room are like, oh, that voice. They're swooning in the chat. I knew Rebecca was behind the scenes. Rebecca was high
because I've seen
smiling.
This already, and I was smiling when I saw it. But I also can smile because I can relate. Yeah.
I was gonna say, James, were you over there smiling too, bro?
Yeah,
his voice.
Like I said, I'm following
his voice was on fire.
Videos,
but he definitely put up a great point. It's funny how, like I say, they always think that black folks don't speak no other language, and that's the weirdest thing to me. We're people.
Now,
too.
I don't know what he said at the end. It sounded good. What was the translation of what he said at the end?
I don't know. Who did you guys translate it? Because I
thought it was on the screen.
It was,
but
yes. Dexter's Laboratory. That's what it is. The little Spanish man that comes in. Yeah. Muy bien. Stupid. He pointed out something very well. It's funny because back when I moved away from my mother and went off to college, and then I went off to New York, I would always go somewhere, and they would assume that I would either be Ghanaian or Panamanian or whatever, nothing but Haitian. I'm like, y'all don't see Haitian, I'm Haitian. And so they will be speaking, so the Haitians will be going off and they'll be saying stuff. And then I'll just come back in and be speaking to them the same way. Hey, listen, I'm Haitian and I speak Creole. They'll be like, oh, excusez-moi, Sam, m'pat consano. Excusez-moi. Wow. Oh, wow. You Haitian? Yes, I am. And I do speak Creole. And I heard y'all hoes talking about me. What's that? Because it's so funny. Like, they will act like, it's just crazy assumptions, but yes.
So we got the translation of it. So the lady said, don't worry, we're not talking about you. And he said, I don't care because I understand everything you're saying in Spanish. Okay. All right. But yeah, no, it was somebody in the chat room said he needs to do voice acting. Yeah, that brother got some.
I loved it.
His voice.
I like his laugh too. I like the way he laughed. I like the way he talked.
Six Dragon Daddy is 9. It's he put the
peach wave
in here.
They were going crazy over that, but it was fine.
Y'all ain't hear though. The split between Bill Gates and his wife. I think her name is Melinda Gates or whatever. Yeah. Melinda. But yes. But the funny thing is, I'm like, you know what? All that money, what are they gonna do with it? Like billions of dollars, billions. You're gonna die soon. You ain't got about 20 more years on your life. Hopefully. And y'all just got all this money just laying around. It's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Just give me $1 million. I can make it flip.
I can flip
it like a stripper on a pole.
Yo, listen, I know how to flip. Listen, put $1 million in my hand, see what I do with it.
Y'all won't find me. I'm going to enjoy my life.
I'm going out
having
the country,
businesses.
Rebecca.
Girl, I'm gonna get me about three PPP loans. I'm gonna be on. You know what I'm saying?
Rebecca gonna be on the news.
I'm gonna get extra money, and then y'all ain't gonna find me. I'm gonna be making money in my sleep because I'm gonna have businesses that's on offshore accounts. Man, leave me alone, bro. Like that's it.
30-year-old Rebecca Azor has been charged with 3 counts.
I'm gonna be with Tupac. I'm gonna be with Tupac wherever he hiding on whoever's island. That's what I'm gonna be.
Man.
So I'm going to space. Damn that. I'm getting $1 million. I'm going to space.
Right. Exactly.
It's gonna be high as hell. That's all that is.
Yeah, well, no, definitely. Now, you know what? I'm gonna flip it by investing in a marijuana company. That's what I'm gonna do.
You
first.
see what I'm saying? But yeah, make money in your sleep.
Who, Lord? Tunde, do we have our first caller ready? I don't want to move to this next story if we have them ready to go. Okay, all right. So in the meantime, yeah, let's is that a okay? Anyway, let's do this next video. The PG4. Baby runs his house. Children would teach you real quick who the boss really is. I know this from personal experience, but this video is pretty hilarious. Let's take a look at it.
Don't unbuckle this, Uzi.
Welcome back to another fatherhood breakdown. Check this out. Baby Houdini's about to pull off the escape of a lifetime. Dad's talking that I ain't playing, but baby want all the smoke. Big sister's trying to cover for the man, but he's giving off boss baby vibes. Pay attention to the side eye. This is very Stewie Griffin type energy. He don't care nothing about your feelings. Soon as dad closed the door, he looks left, looks right, picks the lock, and then Hulk Hogan's his way out the seatbelt. He has proved to me that nothing is baby proof unless it's bulletproof. And then he popped his head out like he missed his bus stop.
You gotta look at this.
And then everybody starts snitching. Big sister, big brother, other big brother, which sends baby into an actual praise dance. Not like a regular praise dance, but a crump praise dance. Then mom comes back in and she gives him the mom look that only a mom can give, right? Baby don't care, smacks mom in the face.
You have to keep your seatbelt on, okay? So
my God.
This is why I can't wait to start a family so I can start putting them to work on TikTok.
That was good.
These are hilarious.
Hey,
baby don't care. Baby smacks the mom.
Hey, shout out to the guy who put that together. Was that the guy talking? Does anybody know if that was the father or was he just the guy who saw the father? Yo, he put that together well, bro. Like the timing, the delivery, the production.
He know his kids too. He's like, this is gonna be good.
Cameras up.
He knew what he was doing.
So we been making me some money. All the other kids out here making money playing with toys. We gonna put y'all to work.
Yo,
speaking of shit, no.
Bro, listen, let me tell you, them toy. There's a kid on YouTube called Ryan's Toys Review. My son watches it every single day. That little boy got to be making about 10, 15 million a year just on YouTube. So
just
shout out
doing
to
this
that
with
brother.
the toy.
I love this toy.
I'll be right back.
James got something. James got something for us.
Well, I definitely want to see. That's how they be. And the parents be like, so what do you have today, Kyle? I have a toy. And it's kind of dumb. Wait, we're going to edit that out. Kyle, you have to say the toy is fun. Not dumb. It's fun.
Speaking of,
because mama's getting the check.
I can't put my, I probably will eventually one day because my kids are really dramatic and they're really made for TV. But my littlest kid, my smallest, Jeremiah, man, if I put that boy on a video, he ain't gonna just smack everybody. He coming through wailing. My son roll up on me and hit me like I stole money from him because he for the streets. If there's ever a Dixon that's for the streets, it's Jeremiah. Y'all watch out for that one. What you got, James? What you got over there?
Talking about little boy talking about this is a limited edition Chewbacca mask that I paid $10 for, and it's really fun. Mom lets me play with it all the time.
$5 million right there.
Yep, 1 million views easily.
And then he puts it on.
Oh man. And then he gets 10 million views.
And then I'm the viewer. Mom, can I get a Chewbacca mask? I want a Chewbacca mask, Mom. I need it. I need it now.
Oh my goodness.
I want that.
And be like,
and just because what Bubba just did. Just because what Bubba just did. And that boy made like $5 million off that.
Man, so all right, let's do this. Let's Tunde. Who we have on the line? Nikki.
On the hotline.
Nikki is on the line. Nikki, what's on your mind?
Oh, I can't hear her.
Oh. 2 seconds here. Give a couple seconds and we can get these wires wired. Nikki. Hey, how are you? Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Everything that y'all said and then some. But it's Florida, so it's hard to keep everything straight because, well, it's
Hey,
Florida.
Nikki.
Right, Nikki.
How you doing? I won't just talk to the DJ today because I know that's rude. I realize how rude it is.
Hey, it's
I'm
all
on the
love.
show today, Nikki. So I feel
whatever
like,
whatever
talk to me
keeps you
too.
as a patron. If Bubba needs to open OnlyFans, we'll get that done too. So go ahead. What you got?
I'll be the first one there.
This is true, Bubba. If you got to make that, if you got to do something strange for a piece of change, for like it or not, let's go. Let's make it happen.
Get on back on this poll, child.
Hey,
DJ Thunder makes his exclusive debut.
Becca, don't leave them alone no more. They're too serious when it's just them. Don't leave them alone.
I won't do that no more. They be real serious. I'm like, how you got Bubba on the serious train? Now Bubba over here turned into a socialist, don't even know it. Out here ready to burn shit down. I'm like, how is that happening?
That's hilarious.
I'm telling you, y'all leave me in a room with somebody for 10 minutes. They're gonna come out a full-blown socialist.
Just mad. I'm like, don't make Bubba be having the smiles. Now Bubba mad. Let me come. I gotta get back.
Bubba the angry black man like.
Hey,
I'm not used to that face.
The truth will radicalize you. Nikki, what else is on your mind today?
Oh, I'm sitting here smoking my cigarettes while I can't get them.
Got this up, sister.
I get
them
my
Newports.
second. No, they sales, but they menthol. So look,
They menthols.
I'm
Okay.
just
Okay.
doing menthol while I can.
Okay. I got you. And you talking about your second? You about to say something about your second shot?
Yes, I get my second shot on the 13th. 2 weeks after that, I can get on DeSantis's nerves because I heard that he's got cops out looking for people, looking for him. So they're gonna be looking for me too.
That's well, okay. All right. Well, you be safe out there.
She said, "Come find me."
Right?
Pull up on me.
Pull up.
Well, I think honest is the 13th next Thursday or next Friday?
Next, I don't remember.
It's actually on the Wednesday.
It's Thursday. Okay.
Because my birthday
Okay.
is on that Saturday.
So I get mine the day after you. I get my second shot the day after you, Nikki. So
Yes, I happened to go the day before you went for your shot. I just happened to go.
Oh,
the day
okay.
before you.
Okay, so you ain't playing so you got yours and you go on the exact day to the day. Like you have to wait 3 weeks and then you get your second shot. Okay, that's what I'm doing too. So all right, well, shout out. You be safe out there as you go out there in those streets looking for DeSantis and hang on to those menthols.
I just like to remind him that karma is coming for him and it's coming with a vengeance. That's all I like to do. That's it. I don't do nothing else. I just remind him karma's coming.
All right, Nikki, we appreciate you calling in.
you,
Thanks so much.
Nikki.
Thanks, Nikki girls.
Talk to you later, Nikki.
Don't be trying to whisper sexually to Nikki. Stop playing.
Yeah, the ASMR. Y'all are wild. She said that.
Man, my DJ.
Rebecca said, y'all leave Bubba with Ben. He gonna come out of socialist. Don't even know it. And Nikki was like, y'all don't. Rebecca, don't you ever be late again? They need the joy.
Right.
Well, am I the joy? That's so sweet.
Right. Now, on Fridays when you're not here, Rebecca, we cut all the way up.
I know y'all be having all the fun, and
we have had fun without you before.
No,
but
you guys
on average,
but no, there have been because there's been a lot of serious issues lately, and it's been hard to transition from that. So I know that the pain, and not to say that I can transition from that, but I do bring a certain je ne sais quoi to the mix, you know. So I add that bit of chocolate into whatever's going on here. So we give like a trifecta together. So yeah.
Let's look at this other video real quick. It's how black parents apologize to kids. It's from Breon Sr. on TikTok. And the caption says, how black parents apologize to their kids. Which one are you? Let's take a look at that.
Put y'all shoes on. Finna take y'all to the park. Y'all want the PS5 or the Xbox? New Xbox?
Nah. That ain't
Y'all want some McDonald's? Come on.
There you go. Now that middle one, I ain't buying a PS5 to apologize.
But that's 2021 parents, okay?
Yeah,
Because y'all getting the little toy gun from the. It's not. Y'all not. No.
You might can get some McDonald's.
Be okay.
There you go.
Yeah, no, seriously though. But it's like when I wasn't one to get beaten a lot. Maybe like a little spank or whatever. Like my brothers and them, they used to get their behinds towed up. But my mom would hit me and I would have like a little attitude, but I can't have like a real attitude. And I'll go to the room and then she'll come with like a little spaghetti bowl for me, Haitian spaghetti, and just be sitting there. But she'll try to explain to me why she did what she did. My father will be like, nothing ever happened. Like, it's a regular day. I whooped your ass and that is it. And you gonna be under my roof. I don't need to be taking y'all and treating y'all kids. I don't need to do nothing. But he did to my siblings. He would bring me like strawberry ice cream and stuff like that. But that would be their apology. But how do you apologize to Jeremiah?
I just straight out apologize. And yeah,
you're a verbal person.
I'm really verbal. Now I show these kids love all the damn time. Like, so that ain't the thing. But I just like to admit that, yeah, I jumped on you and I was wrong that time. Like, cause sometimes, you think they did something wrong. They ain't do nothing wrong. You was wrong. And I was wrong. And, y'all know, like when I snap, there's levels to snapping. You got snapping like you would do to somebody who owe you some money and somebody who stole something from you. We don't do that in this house. I snap on the level of, my kids, they broke something and then turn around. It wasn't them. I just apologize. Say, hey, yo, daddy got a short fuse. Sorry about that. And I still love you. All right, good. Go play your game. That's it. But the game ain't no PS5. I tell you that much. Ain't not. Okay. Maybe McDonald's will do that, but like that's it.
Well, Bubba, how did your parents apologize to you?
How did they apologize?
Yes,
wait, is Gwen in the chat room?
It's foreign. You don't even know what that is.
Mama
Gwen in the chat room.
How y'all apologize? Apologize.
I don't think my parents ever apologized to me.
You don't even know what that is.
They beat my ass and then that was it. Next time you do better, won't you? Next time you won't do that shit no more, will you?
So it's funny that you say that because right now there's a conversation going around that is about spanking children.
Ooh,
and
yes.
It's a really tough thing because some parents are saying, I need to spank my child. And one lady said, so one lady from, I think it was the Real Housewives was saying why you should not beat your children.
Yeah.
And then another one was saying, and because she was saying it brings trauma to the child. And then one woman, another person was saying how it brings trauma to the child. She was saying, my child was basically hitting me and throwing a tantrum. And I wanted to whoop her ass, but I did not want to traumatize her. So here are things that I did. And she said one thing is like walking away and going like to the doorway so where the kid doesn't hit you. And then speaking to the kid and letting them know, like, calm down, breathe, use your words. This is what you're doing. This is not right. And not coddling them, telling them why they were reprimanded or telling them what's going on. And, being strict with them, but helping them understand. And I thought about that, but I'm like, not every kid is like that. Some kids,
you got to tighten up some of them.
Get that ass sapped. And I hate to say it, but I know like my nephews, I have nephews all across the board, right? And I don't want to be someone to beat my kids, but pow pow, everybody knows that in every language. Pow pow means like, I'm gonna.
Well, that's the difference between what you showing like a popping of the hand and a full on.
Oh no, it could be a pop on the booty too. Or sometimes you got to get them up.
But you're not saying like when we talk about there's a big difference between
spanking the kid like with a belt.
Like I'm not spanking. Listen, I got beat. I ain't gonna say senseless, but I got beat with extension cords.
You had to go get your own switch.
You had to go get my own whip. And like, I don't know. To me, it was like, it didn't traumatize me that I know of. I can sit around here traumatized, don't even realize it. But it was like, it's just, it is, somebody said it like this to me. They said, is your kid old enough to understand what you're saying to them? Then they're not going to understand why you're hitting them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then if your kid is old enough to understand what you're saying to them, then you have the ability to explain it to them. And so ever since I heard that, like my position, but that said, I will say this: if a kid is being abusive in my house, I don't know if I'm not gonna beat them, but I sure as hell will wrap them up and hold them and be like, hey, I need them to understand. Like Jeremiah,
that's actually a form of giving them love.
I didn't wrap them up and be like, hold on, I need you.
But that's actually a form
Yeah.
of loving them. I saw there was like this. There's always another story. I got so many stories in my head. But to your point to that, Ben, actually, there was a fight in of course, the fight happened out of I think a Fort Lauderdale or Miami airport. It happened in Florida though. And they just started to go crazy and fight each other. And everybody was reposting that and how ghetto it was. And it was Amanda Seales who had posted that, and I'm not too fond of Amanda Seales. Not that I don't like her, but I don't really follow her much. Yeah. But this thing that she said, I can actually agree with. She's like, if we look at it, we see like a white woman and all the people, the bystanders just taking out their phones and showing like how these black folks is looking a fool, just always embarrassing us, looking hood, ghetto, whatever. But then there's a man who literally puts himself in the danger, a random man, a black man, and he's trying to fight it. He separates it, and then he sees that the other guy tries to go back, and he takes him, and he did what you said. He hugs him, hold him tight, like, whatever. And he starts whispering in his ear, I understand, but it ain't worth it. But it was a form of like, giving him like that, hey, what, sit, hey, but then it's like, hey, bruh, I got you.
Slow down.
And it was like, maybe he never got that love in his life. Maybe he doesn't know what that feels like, but to have somebody see you and understand you and show you love in that same moment without hurting you, trying to fight you back, restricting you against the wall, overexerting their power. But it was that in that moment that changed that man's body language, calmed him down, and helped to eliminate the situation at hand. So, that might be a good way of reprimanding kids. But when you got a kid that you got to go to the store with and make sure you hold them like this on top of the head. Everywhere you going, you got to make sure you hold them like this. Man. That might be a kid that requires a little bit.
That's Jeremiah requires more force than my other two. I
believe in spankings.
James, you saying you believe in spankings? Your mama just put you on blast in this chat room. Hang on, let me go back up. She said, hang on, let me go back up to it. She said, Dagnabbit, where did it go? Something about you used to take off all your clothes and run outside naked when you were little.
Why she playing
with your brother? Yeah.
Because look, that's what I thought she was gonna do when she called in that day. That's what I thought she was gonna say on the phone, but she didn't. So instead, she decided to want to drop it in the damn chat today. Okay, cool.
Now I don't know.
But why did you do that though, Bubba?
Following my brother. We were young, we were kids. So my brother used to do it, and I'm right under him. So I'm like, took my little pamper off, pull up, whatever the hell it was, and run outside.
That's funny because I was somebody who hated my Pampers too, like Pampers, and I used to. There's videos of me like ripping it off and being without Pampers, but you gotta be free and let it breathe. You gotta let it breathe.
Exactly.
Jeremiah don't take off his pamper or his pull-ups or his underwear. Like we're going back and forth. But what he will do as soon as he walk in the house, and I guess he got it from me. This brother walk in the house and he take off his pants, lay them on the side, and he walk around in his underwear. And I'm like,
if he can do that, he need to be out of them damn pull-ups.
Oh no, I mean no. We put on pull-ups overnight because we ain't trying to change them sheets.
Because if he acting like he been on he worked 6 jobs to coming on.
He come on the house, take off them pants.
He free? Nah. He paid bills in the house.
We got him. He's potty trained. We had a little setback with this pandemic and kind of just like we
a lot of my friends are saying that.
And it was weird. Like you would think it would be opposite because you're at home, but it just we got set back maybe 6 months with it. But
a lot of my friends are saying they had trouble potty training around that time as well. But
I don't know why. I never really analyzed why, but it just kind of, I think our focus shifted. And that was like at the bottom of our priority list was like whether or not he had on a pull-up or underwear. And we just kind of did everything else. Let's get this one last caller in before we run out of time here. Tiger is on the line. How are you today, brother? All right, we give it a couple seconds so we get that audio.
My bad.
Hey, there you go.
Hey, Tiger.
How you doing, my man? And what's on your mind?
Quite a few things actually. One for the current conversation. I was wanting to say I was. I'm gonna put this in a way that don't get my pops in trouble. I was not spared the rod as a child, and it kind of left me with a little bit of resentment issues. But I've worked past them since my father and I've worked past them.
That's good.
Growing up, oh no. You know, my mom, my pops, they split, you know, when I was younger, but my dad, he stayed in the picture, you know, because he's a working man. He didn't want to just evaporate. But at the same time, you know, man, he worked like 3 jobs, sometimes 4 jobs at one time. So yeah, it felt like the only time he showed up, you know, was to reprimand me, but it wasn't really the case. That's just all the time he had. You know what I mean? It took me a while to figure that out. But you know, some kids respond better with positive reinforcement. Some kids, you got to beat that ass. I mean, I don't know what to say.
What about your kid, Tiger? What do you do with your child? Yes.
My son, I believe that somewhere down the line, he's going to give me hell because he's almost a perfect angel. And I'm waiting for it to backfire somewhere. I don't know if he's going to start beating up people. I don't know what it is. But as it stands right now, he's kind, he's caring. One of my earliest memories with him is when we the first time we gave him like actual food, like not just like formula or breast milk like that. He tried to share with us.
Oh,
that was his first moment of having food, and we were just like,
the first thing he did was share with you.
Because he sees that you guys that's beautiful. I love. Is your son a Taurus? Because it sounds like he's giving Earth energy. Like, you know, I just.
What's that water one? The Pisces. That's
Pisces. Yeah.
He gonna turn into something. Just ain't. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Right? Don't you put that in the universe?
I'm not. But Pisces just don't really be giving what they got to give. But your son is going to be an example that's different. But that's good that the kids are sharing. Yes.
The first thing that is beautiful. What else is on your mind, brother?
I was also calling, to give a little positive update on the Isaiah Brown situation. I wanted to let you know that he's going through surgery. He is touch and go, but he's better than he was. And if anybody's in the area, the family is asking, unfortunately, they appreciate the support, but please stay away from the hospital. People are trying to show up, ask him what's going on, making sure he's okay, and family would like to see, and they're just asking for prayer.
Okay.
So
definitely.
Don't pull up.
Stop going to that. What's the name of the hospital?
Don't say it because then more people would. Yeah.
It's already out. Stop going to that hospital.
I'm glad that's good to.
So I'm dragging them for filth anyway.
Mary Watson Hospital over there in Virginia. Stop going. And why y'all fired Tiger?
I read that completely backwards. I'm hearing that completely wrong. You're saying y'all, I'm slow sometimes. Don't go to that hospital. It's raggedy. All right. What else is on your mind, man?
Yeah. And protect the Isaiah.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, a little bit of a segue. That's actually a quick rant. That's sort of what radicalized me, was me having my eyes open about corporations, because I worked for Mary Washington. I put in my blood, sweat, tears, about 6 or so months, and my wife was pregnant at the time. And what happened is I told them I needed some time off, but I was working as a temp worker, in this gig economy. And they were like, okay, well, you can work, but you're not going to get paid time off. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So the time comes, I take my leave, and they finessed me so that my son was born upstairs. And they told me I had to come back down the next day, 5 a.m., and get to work, or I had to get out.
Get the hell out of here.
Is that how you left the job?
I was annoyed because they went back on their word. And what I had to do is go out, calm down. I went out for 20 minutes or so. I calmed down and talked to my wife, talked to my mother. She found somebody to look after my wife because, she just had a kid, so she can't really be on her own the day after she's leaving the hospital.
Right.
And I came back and I was like, okay. So I figured I found somebody to watch my son and look after my wife. And they were like, well, we don't want there to be any kind of bad blood. And I was like, you know what, look, I want to be professional. I'm not going to come in here happy, but I want to come in here. And they're like, well, we'll call you back. We'll let you know what's going on. I leave. And before I can even get home, they were like, well, we already cleared you from the system. So go ahead.
Wow.
You're going to go ahead. Yep. That's
wow.
That's radicalized. And fast to the future, this is how I told you now, like, nowadays, this is why I'm so anti-corporation, because now I'm working for a company where, first off, to start off the situation, they got raided by ICE about a year ago. So you already know where this is going. It's a warehouse. Remember I told you I can call in, but all you're going to hear is hammers and machines.
Right.
We build trusses. If you go to your attic, you look up and you see the rafters. Rafters are a part of it. So we build trusses in this warehouse. In this warehouse, it's sorry if you can hear my dog. He's complaining because he hears me talking. Come on, Gengar, knock it off, man.
No, it's good. It's good. We hear you fine.
Okay, cool. So we make these trusses in this warehouse, and it's negative. Well, the positive aspects is it is $13.50 an hour. Clearly not enough, but then I put in about 58 hours a week, 5 a.m. to 3:30.
Right.
But the problem here is there's no heat. There's
What?
no AC, and the doors stay open 24/7.
Wow.
And I'm talking bay doors, like garage doors. Like these doors are huge, and these doors stay open. They don't close unless there's like hurricane force winds. And now recently, during the pandemic, I'm an asthmatic, pretty badly actually. So I'm wearing this mask in the warehouse, which is important. Wear your mask, y'all. But
right.
With me wearing this mask in this warehouse in the heat, and then with all the sawdust, and them actually also working on a brand new machine, welding it together, you can hear it now in my voice. Last week, I had an asthma attack. I almost died.
Oh, man. Wow.
So I'm talking the asthma attack I had was so bad to where the oxygen was not going through my blood to where my hands cramped up and so did my leg. I couldn't walk.
Wow, man. Wow.
And
oh, wow.
I'm so sorry you went through that, brother.
Yeah, no, it's just, and
you're saying
the catch here is,
I
remember yesterday you were saying, you get stuck at jobs because you get healthcare.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still here.
Yeah. And what's crazy, Tiger, what's crazy about your scenario is that you're saying that in some ways your job is a threat to your health, but you have to be there because you need the healthcare itself, man. And I hate that you're in that scenario, but so many people, that's just the American story. And you said like how it radicalized you. Yeah, man, that kind of stuff will absolutely turn you into a person who just does not play with the system like this. Like, we don't have time to play with this system. We don't have time to like Rebecca, what you were saying earlier. Tiger, listen, man, we thank you so much for that call, man.
Thanks, Tiger. Have a good one. But
Rebecca, how you said earlier, you said that the language that Joe Biden is using is like, it's still not sufficient. And that's because there's so many people around this country who are struggling, like for real, like in real life and death, like whether they have a place to sleep tonight or not. And so, it's not just about, putting on labels and I'm a radical or I'm a revolutionary, I'm a socialist. No, it's about the fact that people's lives are really at risk in these situations.
Yeah.
Whew, that was heavy.
It was heavy. And I hope that, that you find, I really hope, I wish, for all of us, because, even me, all of us to be free or at least working in an environment that doesn't always have to feel this way, just have a bad day, not because of work or the work environment that they try to put on you, this work culture that you have to slave and you have to feel bad and you have to be tired, because the more tired you are, it tells us that the more hardworking you are. I don't understand that frame of mind. With managers who do nothing or supervisors who do nothing, but feel like they have to another way of overexerting their power onto a regular employee, that serves as their position. And those things to me, like all of that makes us miserable and mentally not okay. And what they try to tell us is that, hey, you got health insurance, you got this, or we gave you like a free, you get like $10 off to get a new cell phone because you're working for a big company or stuff like that. And it's like, that doesn't help me, but
that's not it.
They think that that's enough to win you over to do overtime or whatever. The reason why I do overtime is because I got bills to pay. It's not because I want to help you guys out a little more. I would just clock out on the time I'm supposed to be off, and that's it. I don't want to see y'all.
They ain't doing
but
that for
yeah,
us, man.
so anyways, I understand that. I really pray that everybody eventually gets into something that they want to do, because not everybody wants to be a business owner, and not everybody cares to do that. Working for them is fine, and having a regular paycheck is fine. But to me, having an environment that is not toxic, not overly just like little things that are just triggering, but you still have to fight through it. And pregnancy, when you're going on leave, men should be able to go on leave to be with their families as well. It shouldn't be the fact that I'm a man, I need to be coming to work. No, I should be able to go be with my wife on a paid leave. And you shouldn't have to take the first week of my PTO to put it on the leave. Like, you know what I mean? Like, allocate that time for men and women, so it's like a lot of things that definitely go into when you're working corporate or whatever.
And the thing is, Rebecca, every single one of those things that you listed is a policy decision. It is something that politicians, if they actually gave a damn about people, they could change right now. They could change it right now. The way they got rid of this bill that they put out, the Recovery Act, the COVID Relief Act, or whatever it's called, reduce childhood poverty by 50%. They were able to do that with one piece of legislation. Now let's go get the other 50%. All right, let's go ahead and do things that actually give people. Anyway, that said, it is
it's time to go. I gotta go to work. See, I was doing it just like Tiger just now. See, I said I was gonna say two things, and I had to give you guys the details and the story of it all. But I hope that you guys, thank you so much again, Tiger, for calling in. I love you guys. I hope that everybody has a great day. Love you, mean it. Ben, you have any last words for the people?
Nah. Y'all just come on to the patron party tomorrow night. It's gonna be fun. Be there. Be square.
Let's pick it up, y'all. Come on, let's get it. Love y'all.
Look, we got to go to work. I love y'all.
Okay.
It's been real. We'll talk to y'all soon.